talking about love, but he looking like a foot soldier on Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? Like, just like.
Yo.
Check out the full podcast. Link below.
We got to start out with this 4 Batz discussion. Y'all heard the remix. Drake just jumped on, like you said before. Act 2, date at 8. The remix that Drake signed
EP deal
with 4 Batz, right, to put out that song,
Batz.
and also I guess what he's putting out first or next, I should say. And so, T, what do you think about 4 Batz, man? Does he have longevity?
That's tough to answer. I can't even really answer that now because all I've heard so far are the acts, and I would say like I guess he has potential definitely. He got the EP deal with Drake, got a Drake feature. And if we know Drake, just like historically, he always kind of jumps on like the next wave right before it happens. So maybe 4 Batz, he probably has some crazy shit that we haven't heard yet. Drake was probably like, yeah, this is, kind of crazy. So I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna say yes for now. Just he has a lot of hype, and he has a lot of hate and hype.
Yeah.
So
Q, I'm gonna jump to you next. What you say? Well, T, you said hate.
yeah.
Q, do you see that too? Do you see hate towards 4 Batz, or
Like
is it more love?
people that don't like him?
Yeah.
Really? I just found out about him last week. So, I mean, you told me about him. So
Yeah,
what's
talk to me.
important, I think, about him is, how people describe, who he is. So, like me and Uche, we went to a bar, and just passively talking about, like, random stuff, and he mentioned 4 Batz to me. And you described 4 Batz to me as a dude that looks like a goon, right? But then has a voice that's like Brent Faiyaz.
Yes.
That's exactly how you described it. I thought the drink was getting to me. I was like, I don't know what the hell this guy is talking about or what he's saying right now.
Yeah.
And then I actually got a chance to look at him. And yeah, his persona. And even he did that, performance where he had the hood behind him. It looks like you walk past him and you tuck your wallet. Like, you're like, yo, this dude robbed me. Because, he got the shiesty.
Yeah.
And then he just don't look happy. But then you hear his voice and it's just like smooth melodies. I believe it's altered. It's got to be altered. His voice, right? Smooth melodies. He's talking about, I'm about to spoil a chick with like all this stuff, like love. He's talking about love, but he looking like a foot soldier on Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? Like, just like, so it's an interesting persona. It's an interesting brand that he's, showing people. I don't know how long because at the end of the day, is it a gimmick?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And if it is a gimmick, can he keep this gimmick going for a long time? And I don't know.
For sure.
I do hear talent. So out of all the things that I just mentioned, gimmick, image, all that, the most important thing is talent, and I do hear talent there. So I do think he has a chance to be, have a long career.
First and foremost, bro, whoever's on his marketing team is like operating at like a legendary level. Right? Like if this was the NBA, like whoever's on his marketing team averages 50 points a game. Like that's how crazy this guy's marketing is, from the imagery to the releasing of music to the where you kind of see him in spots. Like, I mean, look, this guy only has 3 songs published to his name. It's so crazy. Like I said,
4 if you count in the remix.
Okay, fine.
We'll
say 3.5.
Yes,
that's a half.
Yes, yeah.
But like my thing is this, like. There's a whole conversation about whether this guy is an industry plant or not. And listen, we use that term a lot as a society, industry plant. There was one point where people were saying, is Russ an industry plant? Which, on the surface, if you don't know who Russ is as a rapper and as an artist, right, you might think that. But when you do your history and do the knowledge, you see this guy's selling out arenas. He's been putting out music for over a decade, right? The track record is there, right? And so to me, that debunks this whole industry plant claim. Whereas with 4 Batz, I went and did some searching. He don't got no music on SoundCloud. He don't got no back catalog on my mixtapes. He don't got no back catalog on Dat Piff. Go name all the platforms where people be putting out, the music they made before they got popping. Bro, there's nothing. It's just 3 records. And I think that like it leads more credence to the industry plant argument. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, like you said, bro, he has talent. Like it's undeniable, and it makes me appreciate. It should make people appreciate Brent Faiyaz more because you know what's so interesting is how T, you mentioned earlier. You said Drake be hopping on waves right before they pop off, and did Drake ever make a record with Brent Faiyaz? I don't think he did.
Of course he did.
When?
What are you talking about? He
What
got
song?
this song that sounds like Neptune's. I think it's Neptune's
Yeah,
produced.
From Time, I think,
You know,
or something.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Oh yes.
Song is actually.
Yeah,
Interesting.
they
Okay,
play it
no,
on radio
you're
and
absolutely right.
everything.
But it made me like this feature on his remix made me think like, damn, like has Drake even collabed with Brent for this whole sound? But yeah, I'm glad you guys. Yeah, there's some question marks though I have about this guy, right? Like my thing is, how will he sound live? You know, like with this kind of voice, how will he sound live as a performer, right?
They say he's never performed.
Can he perform at all? He's never even performed.
Yeah,
That's where when you're signed to a label, that's the point of, or at least for me, if I was an artist, that's what I would sign to a label for, to develop me in those areas. I already know how to make music. I already know how to get people interested in what I'm doing. So, but everybody signs different places for different reasons. And that's kind of why people are calling him an industry plant. From what I've seen on social media or what people's telling me, they're saying like his manager is like a creative director at RCA. So a lot of people that have artists and they're trying to put their artists on, they're kind of like pissed, like. But it's a rigged game, so maybe that's what's really happening, maybe not. We'll never really know. But I mean, it's not industry plans have been happening since the beginning of time.
Agreed.
The industry plant, that term is associated usually with somebody claims they're from the hood, or like they have kind of like this gritty persona. They're like, you ain't really like that. You know what I mean?
That's a plant though.
That's a lot of times what it's associated.
If anything, that's the opposite. People use the word industry plant for people who are not street,
what
like
do they
Lil Nas X.
Like they were saying,
like
Harlow was like an industry plant.
Yeah,
but I mean, because
he's not street at all.
But Jack Harlow has to sell people that like he's a hip hop artist. He don't look like it. You know what I mean? So it's like industry plans, in my guess, is people that you have to convince to the masses that their look and their style of music is something you should care about, or something that is natural, right?
No, I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
I get
So
you,
like
man.
Jack Harlow, you just look at him, you're like, this doesn't look natural. You look at the 4 bats, you're like, this doesn't look natural. You're singing, but like you in the it looks weird, but it remains to be seen what 4 bats does, but this Drake feature definitely helps him out.
Listen to the full episode, link below.